Welcome to the Zebra Family channel. If you have not subscribed, please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free.
When under quarterly implemented by the three spheres of government and the arms of the state will enhance the state's capacity, the state's capability to implement, ensuring the. I greet you, Chairperson, honorable members, ministers, and all protocol observed. I greet you all in the name of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And I also greet you in the name of my President, CIC Julius Malema. My president mentioned earlier this year during a EFF Jazz concert, as he always likes to feed us with information, and everyone that he meets, he always gives wisdom. He says, just like Jesus does, he's always giving us information. He said, time in politics is very important. And the timing in politics is very important. So we need to make sure that politics works for us. That's why I urge the South Africans right now to take this advice from the CIC, to make this mess that is happening in South Africa as an advantage, to educate ourselves about our rights, to educate ourselves of actually what is going on in this country so that we can be able to fight. He carries on and says, if you are not educated, it doesn't mean going to school, but you need to educate yourself. If you are not educated, you don't know your rights. You won't be able to fight educated people. So I urge South Africans right now to take this opportunity to learn, to Google, and find out what are our rights. Why are politicians always going to people to go and ask for their votes? It's because the people must govern. This is not the government of Cyril Ramaphosa. This is not the government of GNU. This is the government of the people, but people don't know that. When we say amandla ngawenu, we mean that amandla ngawenu. That's why we're making these speeches and we're taking the parliament to the people. Chairperson, the Economic Freedom Fighters firmly rejects the proposed budget vote of the Department of Home Affairs as presented by the Minister of Finance and supported by the committee. When we convened to deliberate on this draft budget, it was concerning to note the absence of critical stakeholders and strategy. Siyijongile le budget sathi hayi manje le budget ayithetha nabantu bethu. Ithetha nabani le budget? Ndiyijongile mna ndahlala phantsi ndayijonga. As the Department of Home Affairs is tasked with critical responsibilities and must be held accountable, we reject the budget of the department, which in 2024 still lags so far behind in terms of its technology. I was listening to you, Minister, today, and to the lady that was here, my honorable member. It's just lip service. How many times have South Africans been hearing the same thing, that we are going to do this, this is going to happen, the jobs are coming? They've been waiting, it's been 30 years. Before 30 years, there was a mess of people not even being employed. Now, all of a sudden, the Minister of Home Affairs, who comes from those ancestors that made sure that our people don't have jobs, now they are coming with solutions that we are going to, why didn't they do it before? My chairperson, simple software applications to capture and upload birth registrations in real time are still not available to the poorest of the poor. Mothers across all provinces still leave hospitals and daycare clinics without birth certificate. In this day and age, as is the chairperson, we as the EFF were saying that we are not agreeing with this. Chairperson will not support a budget which does not make way for death certificates to be issued from hospitals where most people pass on. At this day and age, we still need to wait for death certificates. We still need to wait for birth certificates. How come? There's the honorable member, he was busy doing some payments here. He was holding his phone like this. Because there's a system that can identify your face. And we are asking for a budget all the time. For what? For us to be doing the same dinosaur system things. No, this is 2024. Even when we call our people, they're sitting at 2,000, meaning 4IR is the future. Why are we still reading a budget that has the all same systems? No, I think Chairperson will not support this budget. If you control births, Mr. Minister, from when a child is born to death, when a person passes on and match that number with new people entering our country and leaving our country, my simple math says a census in visual real time every day is possible. I always ask myself, maybe these things are deliberate, but listen to me. Hospitals should have small home affairs offices that can quickly issue birth certificates and death certificates. Delays caused by too much paperwork and not enough facilities are not acceptable and violate the citizens' rights. Additionally, implementing new technology, a biometric system that captures fingerprints at birth, will help identify individuals without IDs more efficiently. This will enhance the system's ability to manage records accurately from the start of life and to ensure fair and efficient service delivery. Chairperson, the EFF will not support a budget that does not demonstrate how we will transform our old dinosaur systems to new technologies. Minister Sivumi, this budget seeks to do the same thing, the same way, and we expect a different result for service delivery to our people. This is the definition for madness. We unconditionally reject the capital and operation spend on the ICT spend by the Department of Home Affairs. Chairperson, my friends living in Joburg, they tell me they don't go queue in Home Affairs when they are applying for their passport. They go to FNB and Standard Bank and they make an appointment. Within 10 minutes, their application is sorted. In few days, they go back and they get their passport. Honorable Chair, is South Africa the new animal farm where some are more lucky than others? We are privileged. You can go to secure space to apply for a passport, while others like us, who are from the villages in the Eastern Cape, must stand in queues at Home Affairs offices for hours, days, in order to access service. As a Vumi, we reject this budget, as there still exists a serious backlog. As the minister was saying, never they have a backlog. If I was the minister, I wouldn't say that, because people know their frustration when they have to wait for IDs. There's a backlog in processing ID passports and other crucial documents. Thousands of South Africans are left waiting for months or even years, impacting their ability to access healthcare, education, and employment opportunities. Recent data shows that many South Africans are not even officially registered in this system. This possesses the risk of national security and makes it harder for people to take part in the economy. Minister, during COVID-19, I took hundreds of homeless people in the Eastern Cape and assisted them in a shelter called City Classen. Some of them didn't have IDs. I got a forest in Kids Beach where I cut wood and I was selling in garages and at Spa, so that I can take this money and give these homeless people to make IDs. When I called the Home Affairs department in East London, it took forever even for them to come to the shelter. No, I will not agree to this. Not so long ago, 2 months ago, Minister, there's a white lady that we as EFF assisted in the Eastern Cape. Her name is Jasmine Rose. Jasmine's child waited for 3 years to get a birth certificate. If the EFF didn't come to the rescue, Jasmine Rose would not have the birth certificate of her child. We went to the Home Affairs. Even when we went, we were told to come back next week because the supervisor is in Mdantsane. We have to wait to come back next week. Does Jasmine Rose have this money? By the way, Jasmine Rose is a white person. When you guys say that the EFF doesn't want people, no. What we don't want we don't want racism. And we just want our land back. We had the Jasmine Rose. You can Google it. It's all over. We went there. Home Affairs offices across the country are severely understaffed. This is not, it doesn't lead only to prolonged waiting times, but also forces citizens to make multiple trips of their own expenses, yet there are no jobs. You were saying now South Africans don't have jobs. Why does Home Affairs always say, come back next week, you wait for an SMS? Where must they get their money? Is this budget going to include the taxi fares for people to claim back? Minister, I just want to know, I hope hope you're going to answer me. This department has over the years failed in its duty to implement robust systems to manage immigration and citizenship affairs efficiently. These failures have seriously consequences impacting both national security and individual rights. This budget does not focus on the important issues that affect the Department of Home Affairs and the people it serves. Instead of having meaningful discussions around the challenges we are pressured to agree with observations and recommendations that are made without real input from the people we represent. This kind of process undermines the fundamental principles of democratic oversight and accountability. Chairperson, when it comes to how well policies fit together, there are still doubts about the department's overall plan and how effective it is at handling important national concerns like immigration, citizen, and civil registration. Since commencing office, this administration has not shown real improvement in service delivery, which continues to worsen the difficulties experienced by everyday South Africans. There still exists a clear gap between what the department is supposed to do and how well it actually operates. This mismatch is obvious in the ongoing delays and administration's obstacles the citizens face when trying to access vital services. Chairperson, the budget allocated for 2024-2025 is 10 billion rands, which is lower than what it was before, Minister. Minister Majotina was here saying that the EFF is rejecting every budget. We don't want money for our people. How can we want money that we know in Doba? How can we know in Doba the same budget did not take care of our people? Now we need to agree. I cannot think, Women Minister. This decrease is worrying because the department plays a crucial role in empowering citizens and ensuring national security. While it's good to prioritize employee compensation, there's a pressing need for additional funds to update infrastructure and make service delivery more efficient. It is our position as the EFF that Home Affairs should focus on empowering citizens by delivering essentials services promptly and efficiently, guaranteeing every South African right to dignity and access necessary documentation. We must demand comprehensive presentation from all relevant stakeholders. It is imperative that we develop a robust committee report that reflects a genuine oversight and commitment to the interests of South African people. The EFF is firm to reject this proposed budget because it doesn't fix the major problems with the Department of Home Affairs and its ability to serve our country well. The EFF rejects this whole, Chairperson. If I'm a Minister of Home Affairs, Leon Schreiber, excuse me, sir, for pronouncing your surname incorrectly. It's German origin. I can't speak German. If it was maybe African, I would be able to pronounce it. Excuse me for that. I can only.
That person on a point of order. The point of order is this: we are all honourable members. To refer to one of us who is the minister as in his name is wrong. I would urge the honourable member to correct that and withdraw.
All right, thank you, Honourable Mkonyana. I think that if you go to our rules, Rule 62 in particular, it's very clear that we cannot refer to each other on first name terms. So the point of order is sustained. Please refrain from that moving forward. She cannot withdraw that stand.
You should apologize.
And you go must pass it and leave. And let me see if I can explain what we're saying. You are saying that I mustn't say Minister Leon Schreiber.
No, you referred to him on first name terms. According to Rule 62, you cannot do that.
I apologize. It's just that I can't speak German. I quote your posters, Minister. We were quiet here when your people were talking. Can you please just keep quiet so that I can? Can you please tell my honourable member quiet here?
The point of order is being called. Honourable Makesi. Honourable
Person.
order here. When we deal with the point of order, it's only the chairperson who has precedence. Please, let's respect that. Honorable Makesin.
Thank you, Chairperson. Can you please protect the speaker on the podium? If members have an issue with whatever that is raised, it cannot be harassed by Honorable Badinos. Please.
Thank you, Honorable Makesini. We know very well that according to our rules, the people can heckle, but we cannot drown the speaker. Let us refrain from drowning the speakers, because I think what is critical here is that she is representing a particular constituency, which you must hear what she's here for. Thank you.
I quote you, Minister. You've got posters that are going viral on social media. One of them reads, in the coming year, Home Affairs will increase the number of inspections, restaurants, bazaar shops, farms and mines by over 50% in order to take action against people illegally employed, including deportations. He says that no one will want to visit or invest if we allow our country to be in a mess. This urge to get tourists and investors to come to South Africa is of concern to me, Minister, because you are not raiding white areas. We know that Robert Mugabe chased white people away from Zimbabwe and they came to South Africa. Why don't you start here in Camps Bay and here in Cape Town and just raid white people? I think the Donbass era must come back so that every white person can take out an ID so that we can scan. Minister Mkulu needs to start with the white people, not always to be starting with black people. Minister, you need to change your posters. You need to mention that even in white communities, and we want to see it on TV. We don't want to see our black brothers and sisters only watching the white people that are here. People in Israel, warriors in Israel, and they came to South Africa. They haven't gone back. Did you check those, Minister? We are always chasing black people. Black people are always oppressed. You want...
Honorable Mpinga, your time has expired. Unfortunately, can you take a seat?
Family, what do you think about what the EFF representative in Parliament who talk about the minister to start with immigrants from the white suburbs in Cape Town, whereby a lot of people who came from different parts of the world, example like Israel and Zimbabwe, during the time of Mugabe, when Mugabe took the farms from Zimbabwe, most of the white people from Zimbabwe flew to Cape Town and bought places there, and they're still there without IDs. So it's what the EFF is, because most of the times when the immigration start raiding, they always go to the black people side, whereby black people are the owners of Africa. But when it comes to raiding, they go to those areas of black people and forget about the areas of white people, because white people, they are always portrayed as innocent people who always abide by the rules, when it's not true. They are the people who don't follow the laws most of the times, but because of their skin, they're being hidden from all these kind of atrocities. So what the EFF said, it's really factually, because I've seen it everywhere, even overseas. You go overseas, you will be stopped by police, but they don't stop. There'll be a white person in front of you moving on the street, but they will only stop you as a black person, not stop the white person, because most of the time black people, they're always portrayed as suspects. Reason we don't know why we are so always portrayed as suspects. Even in our own African countries, we are not respected, but the white people are always respected more than the black peoples who are originally from Africa. And another thing that we have to look on is we have to comment on this. When before the elections, there were selections of people who were supposed to go to parliament in different kind of organizations in South Africa. But what happened, they were looking for the cream, people who will stand and who will understand the laws and who will debate a lot of things. But looking at this video, I want to hear from you. I'm not going to judge anything, but look at the video here. There's an ANC cadre and there's a EFF cadre, which is an EFF MP representing the EFF in Parliament, and we have to discuss who did a thorough interview to send either of these two to Parliament, because I label them. There's one on the side EFF, there's one on the other side, it's ANC. Let's talk about that, and I'll get back and I will read all your comments and I'll try to respond on this one. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Bravo, bravo.